kujya muri zino nshingano arimo yaramaze kugaba inka mahembe 69 wa munsi yashinguwe amaze kugaba iyindi ya 70 ariko aratubwira ngo izi nka niza mahembe hatazagira uwotekereza kugira ngo azituze kubera ko abanyamurenge ariko mwabaye ati izi ngizi inka z'amahembe n'aya abantu aragenda ajya mu muryango wacu rugari mwacu hagati afatamo abantu 5 arabashingira abaheza 8 ko muzi 8 bararongoranwa atatubajije akagenda agakubita inka ruhembe akagenda agakwera umuntu bakamurongoranya agataha aragiye asanzemwo abana 10 bari mu bandagara badafite ishinge na rugero bo mu mwacu hagati mwe ndimuvuga aragenda arabafata arabagura abandagare bazigwe mu rugo kugeza ubu muzi kuri yarashingiye muri abo ngabo yarashingiyemo 2 abandi ngo baracyari mu mashuri ariko bibo mu rugo yaramaze gushingira abantu batamukomoka mu 31 batarimwe abasirikare mwese murabizi umuryango wose uri hano urabizi yageze ruguru uko ya trainingaga abantu niko yashingiraga abasirikare niko yashingiraga abakobwa aragenda ubwo yarageze Bukavu subiye inyuma kera ahamagara abagore b'abasirikare bo muri Gumino abazana Bukavu abashiriwe mu rugo mu nzu ya leta Mutebutsi abantu benshi barabizi aragenda arabaza ngo ese niki mwokora bamwe abaheza imyuga biga imyuga n'ubu nyine batuziriye imiryango kuko yabonaga ko ari umunsi umuzogera bakibagirana cyangwa hakaba ubwo abantu ibi bibazo bizaba byinshi tukaza tugenda tugira impfu zireze n'uwo wari ufite umwanya ukaba utabasha kuba waba ukimwibuka generale yagiye aheza buri muntu wese akantu mu mutima wiwe mu buryo afite hamwibukira umunsi umwe nahawe ubuhamya n'abarwanashaka barambwiye ngo bari muri Iowa ngewe sinari ndiyo ngo baramuhamagara kuri phone niwe wabahamagaye ngo amara arabwira ngo mbere ko tuganira namwe ngo ni munyibwire bamwe ngo baraseka ati abantu 40 n'abangahe uyu muntu turamwibwira gute baramwibwira umuntu akamuvuga na se na sekuru yari akamubwira ngo n'umugore wawe washatse n'ubu bamwe atarababona mu maso ubwo nibwo niryo shaka n'umutwaro yagiriraga ubwoko rero uyu muntu muri no mwanya ngize ngo mubabwire muzuko natekereje ndetse tumuvuze nka Gideyoni mwumva twaba tugiye kure tumuvuze se nka Mose ahubwo twabona ko tugiye kure ahubwo kubera ko ndi umwemera Imana jiwe naravuze timuzi ko izina rya Yesu bavuga ngo musi ijuru tarindi izina rihari kandi Yesu ikintu cyamuzanye ni kimwe gusa yajyanye no kugira ngo acungure abandi mu mwijima ndavuga uyu muntu amagambo y'ukuri ntawagereranywa nawe ariko igihe yazamutse agiye gutanga ubuzima bwe ku bandi n'umunsi yapfuye umunsi yambuye ubuzima hashize iminsi 3 ku giti cyanjye jewe abantu banzi iminsi 3 n'abandi bantu tuziranye nta muntu uvugana n'undi imbuga zose zarahagaze ibyo bintu kandi byabaye igihe cya Yesu igihe Yesu yavuye ubwira kabiri bwarabaye haba iminsi 3 nta muntu wavugana n'undi tugeza Yesu azutse abagore bagiye kuvuga ati yazutse rero uyu muntu ntabwo yari umuntu wo kugereranywa n'abantu bo kwisi babaho ariko Imana yari yaramutanze muri kino gihe kugira ngo agire icyo akora bavandimwe Imana yahagurukishije General Michel mu bwoko bwacu bw'abanyamurenge ihagurutsa General Makenga muri bwoko bw'abatutsi bahari hakurya muzukuri bafata umukingo ukomeye kugira ngo uyu munsi tube tubihagaze nubwo haje kwamburwa ubuzima turabizi yuko neza yasize muri maraso yabo mu maraso yiwe nubwo iwe yagiye Makenga aracyahari na Sematama General hari abo bantu nitutabatatira tuzagenda kugeza kugihe tuzagera ku rumuri rw'ibyiringiro uyu muvandimwe ndimo mbabwira mwumva ubutware bw'ahantu bukomereye kandi n'abandi baraza kubivugaho yabonye ko ahagurikiriwe rekare abantu bose bakazavuga ngo baramwirukana abona ko aza ibuni yaho umuryango we waruri atekereza ko bazogira ngo none yakuroganye n'abantu cyangwa akazi karamunaniye ahitamo kujikinjaza ahagurukira ku buyobozi bw'igihugu kugira ngo bamenye impamvu imutwaye ahagiye mu ijoro rya Noel yarampamagara arambwira ngo nubwo mwebwe muhamuririmba ubwo nyine yewe ndi Bujumbura ndikingiranye ndimo ndashaka ko nakwambuka ibuvira ejo uwo niwo ntwari turimo tubabwira. Naje gutekereza nibuka umunsi Goliath yari matuka ingabo ubwoko bw'Isiraheli. Batuka iminsi 40 abagabo bamwumva bose bagahita bajya munsi bagahinda umushitsi. Hanyuma Dawudi aravuga ati ntabwo nareka ko n'ubwoko bwasuzugurwa kano kagera nubwo bamunaga ari umwana. Umunsi yumvishije ko abagore bahe babatema amabere, yarahagutse aragenda aravuga ngo akagasuzuguro k'abamayimayi n'abazarendu n'ingabo z'ibindi bihugu ngomba kugenda kazimara. Nicyo kintu yakoze. Ashize mu bijabo yakoze imirimo ikomeye yo gutraininga. Aravuga ngo guhera ku mugabo w'imyaka 70 ngo wese yaba kitirwanira. Ibyo yarabikoze kandi murabizi. Rero bavandimwe, ntabwo namuvuga muri amagambo yose ngo murangize, ariko reka mfata umwanya gushimira abantu. Tumaze kumva ino nkuru y'incamugongo, hari abantu bihuse bamugeraho. Reka mfate umwanya gushimira amahoro. Nukuri nubwo mahoro ubu nyine byenda nubwo umuntu yavuga mu buyobozi, ariko bavandimwe ndababwiza ukuri, ndashimira Adele. Yakoze yego ari umuyobozi urangaje abandi imbere, ariko hari ibintu yakoze birenze. Ndashimira umuryango w'abarwanashyaka, mwakoze ibintu umuntu atabona uko yavuga. Ndashimira urwego rw'abamama burangajwe imbere na Anastasia. Ikintu abamama bakoze sinzi ukuntu umuntu yabasha gusobanura, ariko mwumve ko tubashimiye. Rero turashima Imana ko Generale Michel yavutse mu muryango wa Bikanga, avuka mu muryango wa Gasinzira, ariko ngo Mari avuka mu muryango w'Abanyamulenge. Icyo kintu turagishimira Imana. Reka ndangize mvuga ngo murabona ukuntu tungana twese, all of us, we almost American citizens, dutanga tax. Abantu bavuga ko tutahunze baba bigiza kana. Muri sale gusa mwogira umutima ufatika tukavuga ngo twese duhaguruke nk'uko twahagurutse muri no sale, tugende Washington DC, tubwire President Trump ngo bano bantu ni abatanga amatax. Kandi ntabwo twaje hano kwinezeza, tukeneye kubaka iwacu. Mu by'ukuri kw'Imana ndababwiza ukuri, Trump yosohoka akatwumva, ariko ikibazo nuko duhamagarana hakagenda abantu 10 ntibamenye abari. Ariko kino kintu tugihagurukiye rimwe cyako. Ikindi Imana yatuzanye hano ni nk'uburyo nawe yagiye. Nimureke dukanguke dufatikanye. Aba pastor ntimuzi Martin Kings, timwaremwe Jackson yapfuye hariya mu Chicago, yari umupastor wa Baptiste, yaragurutse avuganira bene wabo. Uyu munsi wari umunsi kandi nguyu mu kwezi kwa kabiri abirabura bagira ijambo. Ni ukuvuga ngo twebwe turi mu kuza twamara tukaba intimide, hakaba ubwo umuntu atinya kuvuga ngo pastor ngo se abakristo baravuga gute, baravuga inzego. None se tureke batema amajosi, amabere y'abagore ko maciki abamwe bayatemagure ku misozi, inyama z'abene wacu zigome ziribwe. Biradusaba kuko dufata conscience ibidutandukanya bikaba bike, ahubwo tugahuriza kuco yarwaniye. Icyo tutagikoze twaba dutatiye amaraso yiwe, ntabwo yaba arimo avuga kuri ya misozi. Ariko amagambo yo gusubirana mu makeya mureke tuyarenge, hanyuma dutekereze ku mugambi urambye wo kugira ngo tuzasubireyo. Ikibereka mureke mbabwirize ukuri kw'Imana. Mwese ubu mufite amapassport, muri mu kujya muri biriya bihugu. Iyo ugiye mu ndege ukareba Abanyarwanda n'Abarundi bafasha abana babo bagiye kubereka iwabo, uri umuntu ugira ubwenge ugarutse wahiturira ese musi abana bazojya kubereka hehe? Kayamba Steve, abana bako uzojya kubereka. Nushiki Kigali hari uzabara imiti, nushiki Burundi uzabara imiti. Aho twagombye kujya kubereka no kujya kubereka ngo doraho basogokuru banyu naho aho bafiriye, akaba ari aho tugomba twese kwerekeza. Mureke ndangize mbabwira ngo Imana ibamugisha. Mu by'ukuri turatekereza yuko ubu nyine kuko n'abandi babikoze tuzogera igihe kimwe tubasubire tubiyambaze tubabwire kuko umuryango n'umuryango tuzogeza n'ahantu natwe tujya kuzakora ikiriyo cyo kubwira abana no kubahebuza. Uyu munsi niko kwanama rwose, twebwe no kwanama niko dutangiye kwanama. Turabasabye ngo umuntu wese uzagerageza gushaka kugera kuri famiye ya general ashobora kunyura kuri Mahoro, ashobora kunyura kwa Rwanashaka, ashobora kunyura kuri Gakondo, ariko umuryango wacu hariho John Mwirangabo ariwe wananiwe kugera hano, nawe niwe twasabye kuba abana nabo muri bino bihe abazabasha kubageraho bose, ariko bitabujije ko natwe n'undi wese nawe ufite uburenganzira bwo kubageraho. Kuko Kigere arangije avuga zino pfubyi zisiga uretse gusiza abana bombi n'abandi bose, tugomba kugira conscience yo kugira ngo tubashe gufata uyu mukingi. Imana ibahe umugisha, murakoze.
Rakoze abantu b'umuryango, turasa nk'abatangiye kurenzaho iminota, turasaba baza gukurikira kubahiriza umwanya kugira ngo tutaza kuza gutinda cyane kuko dufite ibindi bintu tuza gukora nyuma ku mugoroba. Aba bavuye kuvuga ni umuryango avukamo, ariko kandi umuntu iyo agize izindi engagement agira indi miryango abamo abarizwamo akorana nayo umunsi ku wundi. Kuvukana ni byiza, ariko kandi iyo ugize n'abakolege mukorana nabyo n'ubundi muryango ugize. Kubw'iyo mpamvu rero hari abantu babanye n'uyu muntu mu buzima bwa buri munsi, uko iminsi yagiye igenda babana nawe bavugana nawe mu buryo butandukanye. Ndagira ngo nze gutumira Perezida Steve w'abarwanashyaka kugira ngo aze atugezeho ijambo ategura ry'uyu munsi. Mukomere amashyi uyu mugabo.
Muraho, katubanze dutange pole ku bwoko bwacu, pole ku miryango yo bugufi y'intwari zacu, abatabarutse mbere ya Leta General Makanika, abatabarukanye nawe n'abatabarutse nyuma ye kugeza n'uyu munsi. Mukomere mwihangana. Muri iyi myaka yose pole niyo ndamukanye dusigaye tugira. Mu gitondo iyo tujutse tukira kuri pole, ku manywa ni pole, mu ijoro ni pole, dupfusha buri munsi. Rero mukomere mwihangana. Taragira ijambo mvuga rijanye n'uyu muhango, ubwo twacanaga iyi buji nayitekerejeho. Ubundi iyi buji itanga umuco mu nzu, iritwika igashya igashira, abo mu nzu bakabona umuco, yashira mugatwika indi. Uko niko ubuzima bw'intwari bumeze, baritanga batanga ubuzima bwabo abandi babona ubuzima. Kizi buji mwabonye twakije. Rero reka nongere saba abarwanashyaka bari hano hagarariye muri Amerika bahaguruka aho bari, aho bicaye, nongere bashimire. Umurwanashyaka wese uri hano haguruka aho muri, twongere tubashimire. Abarwanashyaka turabashimiye. Umuryango wacu mugari w'amahoro mudusaba gutabara ubwoko bwacu dutanze imisanzu muri dukeya dufite, ariko aba nabiyemeje ukuba gatatu umusanzu mwadusabye. Ubwo mwadusabye 25 bagatanga 25. Turabashimiye kandi mugacogora muzabure bityo. Murakoze cyane. Ico usigaje ni kimwe. Yesu umusore yaramubajije ngo amategeko yose nabibahirije none sigaje iki? Yesu aramubwira ngo sigaje ni kimwe, natwe icyo dusigaje ni kimwe, ni ugutaha. Mwibuka ijambo rya nyuma yatubwiye, yaravuze ngo arifuza ko imisozi y'umurenge yuzura abana bayo. Nicyo dusigaje. Rero iyi sura jewe neretse ko abanyamurenge twifite ubumwe. Abari mu bumwe barababarana, bagatabarana, bagahumurizanya, bagakomezanya. Nubwo hari amashami makeya yitanyura, ariko amashami menshi twese turashashamikiye hamwe. Kandi ishami iyo ryitanyutse ku giti riruma, nta buzima rero rigifite. Kuba umunyamurenge ntacu muri abanyamurenge, umunyamurenge bwawe ntacu bumaze. Rero mukomere. Ijambo ry'uyu munsi twongeye kubabara, ariko bavandimwe banyamurenge, inshuti zacu, abadukunda mwese duteraniye hano, uyu munsi duteraniye hano mu kwibuka intwari y'ikirenga y'ubwoko bwacu, Dayton General Rukunda Makanika, ndetse hamwe n'izindi ntwari zose zabatabarutse kuko twari tubivuze mbere ye, n'izindi zatabarukanye nawe mumaze kumva uwo munsi, ndetse n'abandi batabarutse nyuma ye tugeza n'uyu munsi n'isaha turi hano. Kubera iki bashizwe mu cyiciro cy'intwari? Bisaba iki kugira ngo umuntu abe intwari? Intwari ni umuntu ki? Kuba intwari ni ukugira umutima udatinya, gushigikira iciza, kugaragaza ikibi no kukirwanya. Kuba intwari ni ukugira ubwitange, kwigomwa inyungu zawe bwite, ugaharanira inyungu rusange, byaba na ngombwa ugatanga ubuzima bwawe kubw'abandi. Intwari irangwa no kugira ubushishozi, kureba kure no kumenya ukuri kutagaragarira buri wese. Kuba intwari ni ukuba intangarugero, birangwa n'ibikorwa bihebuje bibera abandi urugero rwiza. Intwari irangwa n'ukuri kandi ikaguharanira. Ntacyo wakora ngo urwanye ukuri, niko ijambo ry'Imana rivuga, keretse kukurwanira. Amaherezo ukuri kuratsinda. Rero intwari irangwa n'ubupfura no kugira umuco mwiza mu mibanire no mu mikorere. Intwari irangwa no kugira ubumuntu, birangwa n'umutima ukunda abantu ku buryo buhebuje, kugeza naho utanga ubuzima bwawe kubw'abandi. Ibi tuvuze byose hatabuzemo na kimwe nibyo byaranze intwari yacu twibuka uyu munsi, Dayton General Rukunda Makanika. Icyitonderwa, mwibuke igihe Dayton General Rukunda yazamutse atabaye ubwoko, mwibuke ibibazo yasanze abirwanaho banyanyagiye hose, badafite icyerekezo kimwe, badafite n'intego imwe. Arabegeranya, abaha icyerekezo, bose bafata icyerekezo kimwe n'intego imwe, yubaka twirwaneho imwe, twirwaneho yumva twese icyo turwanira cyo kubaho kwacu duhuje umutima, bose babihuriyeho kuva mu Rurambo kugeza mu Rugezi na za Bibogobogo n'ahandi hose. Leta General yasanze umunyamurenge ku isi ntawe wamuhaga ibyiringiro byo kubaho, ariko umunsi yahagaze mu misozi y'Umurenge atabaye aho umunyamurenge yari ari hose ku isi, yumvise icyizere ko hari ugiye guhagarika inkota iri ku bwoko bwacu, bituma ibitekerezo byacu twese bihurizwa muri Makanika. Rero Lieutenant General ni umugabo wazamutse gutabara, twese turibuka kuko bamaze kubivuga ntacu yari afite mu ntoki ze, ariko akoresha ubwenge bwe n'ubuhanga bwe, inkoni z'umwanzi zisanga mu maboko ye, aba arizo abakubitisha, abaza kubitisha umwanzi. Twese turabizi ubwoko bwacu turi mu kaga gakomeye, imyaka 9 irashize twicwa buri munsi, tuzira uko dusa, tuzira uko twaremwe. Niki dusabwa rero gukora? Nimba dufite umutima w'ishaka no gukunda ubwoko bwacu, ntidushobora kubutererana mu bibazo nk'ibi. Ikibazo cy'ubwoko ukugira icyaha. Umunyamurenge ni wewe, umunyamurenge ni jewe. Twishire mu mwanya w'abasigaye mu gihugu barishwa buri munsi, tubabarane nabo, tubabazwe n'ubwicanyi leta yacu dukorera, ndetse na leta y'u Burundi yaje gufasha leta ya Kongo kwica abaturage bayo, abaturage bo mu bwoko bw'abatutsi muri rusange. Rero nshuti, ubwoko bwacu tumaze imyaka 9 tutakirisi, isi yose twaratabaje, dukomeje no gutabaza, ijwi ryacu tubashaka kuryumva. Ubwoko bwacu duhaguruke, twakirane uyu mutwaro w'intambara batwikoreje. Abantu bamwe ntibakirana imitwaro, ntibatabara, bashaka kwirebaho gusa, bakaba banyamwigendaho, abandi bakagira ubwoba bwose, bagatinya no gutanga umusanzu. Dukanguke, tubyuke, duhaguruke rimwe twese. Isi ntidukunda, twirwaneho. Niyo ntego y'uyu munsi, twirwaneho tudashira, twiha agaciro, twitange, dutange umwanya wacu, dutange ubushobozi dufite bwose. Ndahamya neza ko imbaraga dufite turakoresha 30%. Duhaguruke, duhagurukire rimwe twese, intambara yarangira vuba. Nimba duhagurukire rimwe twese, twashira mu iherezo. Nta bandi dutegereje bazadutabara, ubwo twenyine. Turi kumwe n'Imana yacu, nubwo yatinda amaherezo izadutabara. Harakabaho abanyamurenge, harakabaho kwirwanaho kwacu. Murakoze.
Arakoze Perezida Steve, ukoresheje umwanya neza. Ndagira ngo n'abandi baza gukurikiraho tuze twese gukoresha umwanya twihuta. hari ubundi busobanuro yasize nyakwigendera yavuze intwari ngo ni ugukora ico umuntu wese yakagombye ashoboye gukora ariko atayakora. Ni ukuvuga ngo ibyo yakoze hari n'abandi babikora ariko badakora. Twinjira rero nanone mu ciciro kindi gikurikira, twahagurukije umuryango umwe ariko murabizi ko twabuze intwari nyinshi zagiye mu bihe bitandukanye. Ndagira ngo duse nk'abumva amateka ku bukeya imfu zacu kugeza kuri uriya mukecuru mwabonye ejo bundi imyaka 90 wazize nawe kuko gusara mu murenge. Ndagira ngo duhereze umwanya umushakashatsi Mzee David Banoge aze hano atugezeho ijambo yaduteguriye uyu munsi wa none. Rusengo Desire Rusengo
bisanzwe umuntu wese wavutse azapfa.
Usually everyone will die at some point.
Ariko hejuru y'uko ko dufite iryo deni ko tuzopfa kubera ko twavutse, abanyamurenge twagira izindi mpfu zacu twihariye twenyine.
But even though everyone will die, but us Banyamulenge have a particularity in the way we die.
Izo mpfu rero nuko dupfa tuzira uko Imana turi.
The kind of death that we die are because of who we are.
Nizo ziriya mpfu zose tuzi muzamwumva hano dufite abasaza bazibonye, abatarazibonye nabo barazibwiwe. Izo zose twahuye nazo bazize yuko Imana yatugize uko tumeze ubu.
So all of the death that we've been hearing about from the elders to the current generations, this is all because of how God created us.
Tuzi abantu bacu bapfuye bamwe twebwe tutarabaho.
There are people who were killed before I myself was alive.
Muzi za masakere zabaye muri 64 na gatandatu.
You've heard about the massacres in 1964.
Abapfuye ku Kirumba, abapfuye ku Gatongo,
those who were killed in Kirumba and Gatongo,
abapfuye mu Kirambo,
those who were killed in Kirambo,
abapfuye ku Munanira,
those who were killed in Munanira,
abapfuye mu Mutambara,
those who were killed in Mutambara,
abapfuye mu Minembwe barimo Bakarani, abapfuye Inganji barimo Barusimbi,
those who were killed in Minembwe and Ganji.
Abo bose bishwe kubera uko Imana yabaremye.
All of those were killed because of who they were.
Hakaba rero abandi indi kategori ya kabiri kuri abo ngabo ni abapfuye bahe barwana ngo tureke gushira.
And the second category are those who were killed while fighting so that we can survive.
Nyuma yo kubona twicwa kubera uko Imana yaturemye,
after we've seen that we're being killed for what God created us with,
bari abantu baguye ibaraka amagana nta kindi bazize nuko Imana yabaremye.
those who were killed in Baraka were killed because
abaguye mu Kamanyola nta kindi bazize nuko Imana yabaremye.
Similarly, those who were killed in Kamanyola
abaguye Kalemi, abaguye muri Vyura nta kindi bazize nuko Imana yabaremye.
In Kalemi, in Vyura, all of those were killed because of how God created them.
Ariko icyaduteranije no munsi ni abapfuye bahaye banga ko abantu bashira.
But we are gathered here to remember those who stood up and to fight so that we can survive.
Ukuvuga rero nizo ntwari zacu.
Those are the heroes that we're speaking
Izo
of.
ntwari zacu zose zibumbiye muri Lieutenant General Michel Rukunda.
So all of those fallen heroes, we see them through Rukunda Michel.
duhaye tumuvuga rero tuba tuvuga bariya bose bapfuye bahaye bashaka kurenganurwa.
So when we speak about Rukunda Michel, we're speaking about everyone who died alongside while fighting so that we can survive.
Aba rero bapfuye bamaze kubona ko tugiye gushira twabahumbiye bavuze ijambo ryiza cyane ngo bahumbiye muri Michel nibo no munsi baduteranije hano tutibagiwe ko bahagurukijwe nari amasakira yose tumaze kuvuga.
So we're here to remember all of those who stood up, and even the Burundian says that we're here to confront those who were brought here in the same goal to fight for themselves.
Navuze ngo sinturuka kure cyane ndafata amateka magufi yo muri 1994 mu kwezi k'umunani no kwezi k'icenda ibyo bise commission Umuhango.
So I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to focus for the events that happened in 1964, what's referred to the Convention of Umuhango.
Bamwe muri mwebwe bari bahari,
some of you were alive at the time,
abandi byenda barabyumvishije,
and others heard about it.
Icyatumye mfata iyo evenement kubera iki?
Why am I choosing this particular event?
Icyatumye mfata iyo evenement nuko ibyavuyemo recommendation zavuyemo zisa n'intambara z'Urwanda no munsi.
This particular event, I'm referring to it because the outcome of that event is what we're fighting.
Commission Umuhango yabaye constituée bayituma muri Nord na Sud Kivu kuza kumenya ibibazo bihari nyuma y'intera hamwe XFR for the buzimaze kwiverse hari hakurya iwacu imiliyoni n'imiliyoni.
Because from that convention or that event, Umuhango, people were sent to come to study the areas in North Kivu and South Kivu after the genocide. Interahamwe were in the area.
Muzosoma iyo komisiyo washaka kumenya makuru yayo kuva ku page ya 85 kugeza ku 120 ndagira ngo ni document hari igifaransa bazasoma igifaransa.
So I refer you to read the document which describe everything that happened.
Ubwo baraje babona amakushe yose amoko yose.
So the people who were sent came and visited everyone.
Ariko cyantangaje muri iyo nakuyemo amajambo atatu yantangaje gushika ubu nyine tucatumye vuga ngo niyo nibona ko bakavuga okay.
So there are a few things that surprised me because, and I'm going to come back to it.
Abafurero, ababembe, abavira ndetse n'abashi,
the Bafulero, the Bavira and the Bashi,
basouleve inquiétude bose zitatu.
All of them pointed out, all of them together. They all say that they have an issue with people, refugees from. And they all say that the only issue that is in the area is the Banyamulenge or the Rwandan who fled. And the commission refused to receive the Banyamulenge people to hear from them. But chose to accept and listen to the XFAR who were the
Interahamwe.
So that commission was very focused to chase the Banyamulenge. However, they will not accept.
Uko rero kuvuga ngo ntibazabyemera nuko bari bazi ko turengana. Bagende muzobisome muzobisanga mu niyo tuvuze ngo tubirukane tugerageze kubakura kuva mu bibogobogo na Minembwe n'ahandi commission mufate strategy zose zishoboka tibazatwemerera.
So the commission decided that they would have to chase all the Banyamulenge out, but they knew that this would be very difficult.
Aho kwemera ngo bave iri iwabo bazorwana bashiri.
And they knew that before the Banyamulenge accept to leave the mountains, they will have to fight.
Bamuze manasiyari abakora memorandum barayiba deposit turazigirizo za memo. Nigute mwoza kureba ibibazo by'abantu bari hano muri Uvira na Fizi na Bukavu mukanga kwakira lezakize niko bose nitwe bwari ko basidaka.
So, and people were asking themselves, how could you come to hear from the populations and you fail to speak to those who are being
Ndakeka ko batari bazi ko bakiri Interahamwe. Ariko komisiyo tumaze kubona ibitabo dusanga bakiriye delegation z'Interahamwe.
Nobody knew that they have received this commission from
kandi
Inter.
muri iyo komisiyo ababembe bavuze ko n'abapfurero ko hari training ikomeye cyane y'abanyarwanda mu Rubirizi n'iy'abarundi mu Ruvungi. Ati bafite training nini, icyo dusabira ziriya mpunzi no kubakora amatoilette meza, ariko icyo twebwe tubasaba nka guverinoma ya Kinshasa mutwirukanira muri.
So they asked the government to care for the refugees that were in Sange, but all the other population asked that all Banyamulenge be kicked out.
Umuntu akibaza ngo icyatumye bavuga ngo niyo tubabwiye gutyo nimudafata ingamba n'ibikoresho bikomeye ntibazabyemera, wese wo kwibaza ngo niki cyatumye bavuga gutyo muzorisome muzobisangamo.
So all of those tribes warned the government. They say you need to come with heavy artillery because these people will not accept.
Icyatumye bavuga gutyo nuko bari bazi ko murengana.
And they said that it would be difficult to chase you out. They knew that you were being falsely accused.
Bari bazi ko ni twaye tubarenganya abangaba nibave hano duturane nazo notera hamwe n'abantu ba FDLR baje kubahani wacu.
So they were aware that they were being falsely accused, but they were okay to live with the Inter.
Buriya decision yasohotse muri 1995 ivuga ibiryo kutunyaga ubwene gihugu naho ngaho byari byavuye mu ma différentes commissions y'ama communauté ababembe abapfurero n'abavira nico cyifuzo bari batanze muri Kinshasa.
So they even had a wish to remove nationality from our people. It came from all those.
Nabiriya rwabanje buriya yavuze ibyanditse ibyo amategeko yasohoye.
So they were going by what was written in those conventions.
Ako karengane rero kuvuga ngo ntibazemera kurengana umuntu yo kwibaza ngo niziye mpamvu nuko bazi ko hari haruguru ari wacu.
They knew very well that mountain in Muleka
basogokuru barahabatanze ari abapfurero ari ababembe nta n'umwe wadutanze iri ya ruguru.
They knew that our forefathers were there first before.
Buri iyo tugiye ku kibazo cya autochtone bakunze kuririmba cyane kitaba no muri constitution ya Congo.
When they refer about the being autochtone in the area.
Buri autochtone ni sur base ya territoire yiwanyu. Iyo bavuze ngo uri mu autochtone iwanyu nti wo kumbura muri base yi uzokumbura ku mugogo uzokumbura mu gahwere uzibuka mu rurambo uzibuka mu Minembwe uzibuka mu Ibogobogo. Umuntu ufite autochtone ni iwanyu ni hariya kwa baso na basogokuru na basogokuruza.
Autochtone is the land where your forefathers.
Kandi muri kariya gace rero ntabwo bakadutanzemo.
And who were there before them?
Basogokuru hariya bahikiwe n'intare kugira ngo bahabe.
Our grandparents had to even fight.
Nta muryango udafite abapfuye kugira ngo babe hari hano.
A lot of people have families who died while fighting.
Ufite umwanya wo kuvuga amazina y'abantu baguye hariya basogokuruza kugira ngo tubone uko tuhaba.
We cannot list all the names of people who died.
Ariko ntangirira bukeya reka dutangire muri 1964.
So let's start from.
Ya jambo bavuze ngo ntibazemera.
The word which they say that they will
Nyuma
not
yo
accept.
guterwa muri ribaye muri 1964
in 1964.
mwakoze ku ntwari mushishikaro.
I heard you mention Mushishikaro.
Bamaze kubona ko bidakunda.
After they've seen that this will be not an easy
Baravuze
task.
ati duhaguruke tuje kwitega igitero tureke gushira ati tuzovane wacu.
So the people say that we're not gonna stood and watch while we're being killed.
Uwo munsi yapfanye n'undi mugabo kuri Gafini.
Mushishi died alongside with another man.
Abo bapfuye rero bahebanga karengane.
They died while fighting for themselves.
Abo bapfuye banga ko ubwoko bushira.
They died because they saw that the population, everyone cannot be killed.
Nyuma y'ubwo ngubwo mu Bibogobogo habayeho umugano.
In Bibogobogo.
Nabageze barakana rupande ise wa Pastor Emmanuel niyo bagiye muri leta babasaba uburyo kugira ngo baswe kandi bazamura abantu bari bashize.
Some people got together.
Abona abari dazi tutazibagirwa na rimwe n'abayero tutazibagirwa na rimwe.
Those people went to plead to the government.
Muminembwe abona babwiye bamaze gufa abo bakarani muze karani bapfuye barupembwe bapfuye bande bapfuye abagabo barateranye mu Minembwe ati turagira gute ko tudafite uko turwana n'abantu bantu.
So after so many people had died, men got together and went to.
Mu bagabo bari bagihari basigaye nzabona je nk'intware barimo ba Pasteur Murondanyi.
Some of the people that are still alive, like Pastor
Murondanyi, Ndabagoyi, Sema barabara baraguruka baragenda bava mu Minembwe mu ijoro baseruka ibaraka kuja gutaka.
Men went from Minembwe and went down to Baraka to go play to the government.
Badashobora guhangana n'abafite imbunda ariko nibura reka barebe uko basura kandi gukiza ubwoko baje gutabaza.
Because they saw that they could not confront people with guns, so they went down to see the
aho kwari
government.
ukwanga ko bava iwacu.
Those acts are acts to refuse to die and to leave the land.
Komisiyo mvanga imaze gukora biriya bamuzemirere bamaze kwandika bamaze gusakuzana amarehe mu rukino rwa.
So after the convention of Vangu, some men stood up.
Habaye intambara hari habaye amahoro make cyane ashoboka. Decision imaze gusohoka bimiriye bari abasaza kutagurisha inzu, kutagurisha inka, abe no kubagarira inzu yawe. Kwikubura bonyine barabibazizaga.
So after the Vangu
Sinzi nimba mubizi.
people were deprived and were even not allowed to access their own property. They could not sell anything. They were told that the land isn't theirs, it's for those who stood and refused that would be terminated. Among them are so all of those who stood and fight, we all see them through Michel Rukunda. The war in 50. So all of those were fighting so that we may survive and not be exterminated. And 59 came. Before the fight, Gakunzi had started to see if they could broker peace before fight. And he was killed while raising his hands up. And saying, these are our heroes that we remember today. All of those people that I've mentioned up to Gatumba, this is the Twirwaneho that we speak about. That's why the Twirwaneho movement continues to exist. So the war which started in April, all of you remember that the Mai Mai were sent these people to Rwanda. And the government was behind the Mai Mai. And when the Mai Mai failed, the government came out in open and started and they were burning villages, and though they failed, before some of our heroes had already been on our way to go and help those who were fighting for themselves. So today we gather to remember those who stood and refused that we may be killed. So we need to ask ourselves, those who have died for the greater goods of everyone here, what can we do? So ask yourself, are you playing your part to join in this fight? Until today, their main purpose is to exterminate us. And you are very well that we have so many funerals going around. There's a man who saw what was happening in Minnesota just recently. So we're losing a lot of people just. But despite all of what's going on, Michel Rukunda had built a foundation. So the foundation which he started is made by you. So those who are at the front line are up there. So behind the front line, it is you who are supporting and helping them continue the fight. So if you get distracted even just a little bit,
kandi nitushira bariya bose bapfuye dufite ibihumbi hari abaza bandika badufite ibihumbi byazize ko banze byazize ko birengana
and we know that we have thousands of
abo bantu
those who died at the
abo bantu
front line.
bazaba bapfiriye iki
So we cannot let their death be
kuko bafashe
vain.
decision tutahagurutse ngo tugisige ariko se tugisige tuje hehe hariya ni iwacu
We cannot leave the land because that's our home.
gakondo tituzoyivamo
We will never leave our home.
bariya bose amaraso yose yamenetse yarahameneka ngo tuzoreke kuva hariya
So and we have to understand that
no
all the blood
kurashe
that was shed
ukareka
in those
umukingi
mountains were shed so we
n'uguhemukira intwari ikaba misheri
So if we surrender, if we forsake them, we will be forsaken. We cannot forsake those who were at the front line, those who died.
kuba mugufi ntarambiranye
So that I may be brief,
mukomere
take heart, be comforted.
mukomere kandi muhaguruke turwane
Be comforted by
twange ko dupfa
so we can fight.
twange ko dushira
We have to refuse.
twange ko iwacu hashira
We have to fight for our
tuje
life.
muri ideoloji ya general
We need to follow the path.
tuje muri ideoloji y'abariya bose logique yabo y'abariya bose banze gusiga iwacu bakamena amaraso yabo
We need to follow through the steps and follow their ideology who stood up and refused to die.
mukomere
So take heart.
mureke gucika intege
Do not be
yuko
discouraged.
mu rugambi iyo mucitse intege muratsinda
Because when you're discouraged, you may even be
ubundi
defeated.
ubundi kandi abamaze kwitaba bose n'ibirya yavuze ngo ni igitambo cyavuye mu muryango
And all of those who have died, these are the sacrifice from families.
ni sacrifice message yiwe ya nyuma yaravugaga ngo iki gihugu tuzokigura amaraso y'agaciro gakomeye
These are the sacrifice. He even mentioned it. He said we will have to give a greater sacrifice so we can live in the land.
tureke gutwarwa n'ibituriho
Let's not be distracted with what's going on.
tuhaguruke dukore tuzotsindira uyu rwanda
Let's stand up all together so we can fight and survive.
murakoze
Thank you.
arakoze cyane ku kiganiro cyiza tugejejeho
For great words that he shared.
mu ncamake abashe gukora ku bizagiye bitubaho
He just summarized some of the things, some of the events that happened in our lives.
tumaze rero akanya twicaye ndagira ngo tubaze umuhanzi Frank niba ari hafi
We've been sitting down for a while. Let's ask Frank.
niba ari hafi yatambuka
Let's
afite
ask him to come forward.
ibihangano bye aza kutugezaho hanyuma tuza kumva indi gahunda ikurikiraho
murakoze cyane ndabasuhuje bagira ngo mbasabe kubw'icubahiro tugomba intwari zacu ndaza kubasaba kubw'urukundo twamukundaga no kubw'icizere yadusigiye byaduteye kwandika indirimbo tugiye kuririmba nifuza ko tuyiririmbana twese duhagaze n'amabuje dufite cyangwa se bashaka gukoresha telefone bitewe na message iri mu ndirimbo tuze kuyacana urumuri rw'icizere murakoze imana ibumugisha fatikana yes ushaka gukoresha buje cyangwa ugakoresha telefone baze kudufasha bagabanye amatara kugira ngo bidufashe urakoze yeah.
washumbusha imyaka yariwe n'inzige gakondo nasezeranye basogokuruza nzayibaha muhumure bwoko bwawe murenge humura ufite isezerano
Generale Makanika uzahora mu mitima yacu ituzibe imirimo wakoreye ubwoko bwacu murenge humura ufite isezerano murenge humura ufite isezerano amarira turira ni menshi agahinda ni kenshi ariko murenge we humura murenge humura murenge humura murenge humura ufite isezerano humura sinagutaye humura sinakwibagiwe mucimbo c'umwijima uzaniye umuco humura sinagutaye humura sinakwibagiwe mucimbo c'amarira uzaniye indirimbo
tuzabona intwari z'umurenge zishwe zizira uko zaremwe zishwe zizira ubwoko tuzababona murenge humura tuzabona generale Rukunda Michel Makanika wabaye agakiza k'umunyamurenge wabaye agakiza k'ubwoko wabaye agakiza ka gakondo tuzabona Koloneli Musore tuzabona Boneri tuzabona Mugunga tuzabona Mungura tuzabona Ruboneka n'abandi bose bishwe kugira ngo umunyamurenge abeho bishwe kugira ngo tudatakaza gakondo imbuto mwasize mubivye zirimo gushibuka murenge urakabaho humura murenge ejo ni heza
humura sinagutaye humura sinakwibagiwe mucimbo c'umwijima uzaniye umuco humura sinagutaye humura sinakwibagiwe mucimbo c'amarira uzaniye indirimbo amaraso ya mu minembwe aravuga ngumva amaraso yo mu mikeke aravuga ngumva amaraso yo mu rurango aravuga ngumva amaraso yo mu mihunda aravuga ngumva
ndagira ngo munyemerere tuzamure amatoroshi yacu
humura sinagutaye humura sinakwibagiwe mucimbo c'umwijima uzaniye umuco humura sinagutaye humura sinakwibagiwe mucimbo c'amarira uzaniye indirimbo
murakoze imana ibamurisha
arakoze umuhanzi Frank.
We thank Frank.
Wabaye nk'uzamura amarangamutima y'abantu.
I know he's touched on some people's emotions.
Atwibukije byinshi mu ndirimbo ngufi cyane.
And just remind us a lot about events going on.
Umaze kuvuga Mzee David Banoge.
Mzee David Banoge.
Yagumye kuvuga Honorable Kwibuka.
He came back to Lambert.
Zumvikana ko hari icyo yamuteguriraga kuza kutugezaho.
So that he was preparing him to bring us the next speech.
Mzee rero ndagira ngo tuguha akanya.
So let's welcome you, Mzee.
Ubwira ico ubwira abateraniye.
So you can pass your remarks.
ndavuga amagambo magufi cyane.
I'm going to be very brief
kuko umwanya ni kungana
because we don't have a lot of time.
kandi ibintu byinshi turabizi.
And I know that we know a lot of what we're talking
aha
about.
twaje kunama, twaje kwibuka intwari zacu.
We are here just so we can remember our heroes.
N'ibindi bisigaye bivugwa ku ma YouTube abantu bakabyumva nako kandi birananditse.
And I know many things are shared through YouTube and other social media.
Reka mbe ngongera ku magambo make mushakashatsi David Banoge yavuze gatoya, nongera kuzo yavuze gusa.
Let me just add a little bit to what Mzee David shared.
Kubyerekeye buryo twirwanaho yatangiye, kwirwanaho kwaca abanyamurenge kwatangiye.
How Twirwaneho started.
Kuko mbega ni ibintu byabaye kenshi.
It's something that occurred many times.
Bikorwa na benshi.
It was
Nicyo kamwe kagiye kaba kuko bamwe birwanaga mu gice bari baherereyemo.
and some people were fighting for themselves in
Rero
areas where they lived.
mu gihe kimwe muri 66
At some point in 60,
abanyamurenge batangiye kunyaga ibintu byabo hariya mu Rukunda,
when properties were
haje abasirikare ba leta barimo ababirigi.
government soldiers came, including
Abo babirigi barimo umusirikare umwe witwa Giparapara.
and there were Belgians, and there was someone called Giparapara.
Uyu Giparapara niwo waformye, niwo wigisha abanyamurenge bwa mbere kwirwanaho.
This person Giparapara is the founder of Twirwaneho.
Yarakurikira ibindi bintu umunyarwanda witwa Rukeba yakoze inganje.
He was following a model that a Rwandan person in Ghana had
Uyu
shown.
Giparapara w'umubirigi niwe wigisha abitwa ba Rubondo.
So this Giparapara taught Rubondo,
Yigisha bakagweba,
he taught Kagweba,
yigisha babitwenge,
he taught Bitwenge,
bitwenge ndahizwa,
Bitwenge Ndahinyuzwa,
yigishwa bandagiro ndaguswa,
he taught Ndagiro Ndahinyuzwa,
yigisha bagipiro ruvunzi.
and taught Gipiro Vunzi.
Abo ngabo kandi bashoboye no gukora amagambo yo kwirwanaho bagarura ibintu byabo zari maze kunyama.
And these individuals were able to fight for themselves.
Ibindi ni biriya yavuze reka nkomeze.
So let me continue.
Rero kubera kuko ibyo baduhaye kuvuga amagambo amwe,
Because we're given to
baduhaye kuvuga teme imwe byerekeranye.
we've been given to speak about a same.
Uriya mugabo we ni umushakashatsi byo bituma ariwe wabivuze.
I know David is a researcher.
Rero mu magambo mvuga zaza ngenda sa n'uhawe simba
So I'm
bugufi
going to be jumping a little.
kubera kuko sinshobora gusubira mu byo yavuze.
I don't want to go back to what he already
Ariko
said.
reka mbanzirize kuri aya magambo y'ibanze mbwira isi.
So I'm going to start to tell the world.
Ndabwira twebwe abanyamurenge turi aha ngaha.
So I'm not telling these specifically about
Amagambo nk'atatu mbwira isi yayitwumva.
About 3 words I want to tell the world.
Hari iwacu ryari intambara imwe.
Back home, there's not only one war.
Burasira bwa Kongo ryari intambara imwe.
In Eastern Congo, there's not only one war.
Hariho intambara zitatu.
There's 3 kinds of wars.
Hariho iriya y'iwacu yabanje.
There's the war that started.
Jewe ndi mu bagiye ruguru hamaze gusha kuri Mbunda mu Gatangara bijombo bimaze gusha.
I'm actually among those who went up in Minembwe.
Iriya ni intambara yaje itugana twebwe abanyamurenge.
It's a war that was brought to Banyamulenge.
Kandi ni kuriya bavuze kwari ukuvuga ngo urafasha mu muji wanyu.
And it was about, are you going to die or are you going to go home?
Murahitamo gufasha mu muji wanyu.
Are you going to choose to die or are you going to go back
Aya
home?
magambo ko ndavuga ndahaye mbesha.
I'm going to say this and I'm not going to
Ko
lie.
ndavuga amagambo yavuzwe n'abaza babikora.
I'm saying words that were being spoken about those who are committing
Nuwona
the crimes.
bihakana abahaye yirengagiza.
And whoever may refute these words,
Iyo niyo ntambara twebwe tureba cyane abanyamurenge kandi yatujahanje yatwishe.
this is a war that really hurt us, Banyamulenge.
Ituma babasore n'abana bacu abagore n'abandi basanze baguma bakwirwanaho nk'abarya David yavuze n'abamaze kuvuga.
It's a war that enabled Banyamulenge individuals to fight for themselves.
irindi jambo ntabwo abanyamurenge baharara.
And there's one thing, Banyamulenge never started.
abanyamurenge ntibazaharira abandi baturanyi babo ngo babanyage ibintu byabo.
Banyamulenge never started any war or try to loot cows from other people.
twodesheje umurima tugerageza kumvikana n'abandi duturanye.
Even though when cows go into the
ntabwo tunyaga ibintu by'abandi ngo bizatwagaye.
we don't really start any fight or cause any wars.
ariko twebwe tuzira ikintu kimwe gusa.
But us, we usually fall from.
turwanira kubaho gusa.
We always fight to survive.
titurwanya leta ya Kongo.
We don't fight against the government.
abanyamurenge ntibafashe indwara ngo bakureho Tshisekedi.
Banyamulenge never took arms to
ngo
fight
bakureho
so they
Kabila
can
cyangwa
remove
Kabila
Tshisekedi or remove
bakureho Kabila cyangwa uwundi muntu.
or Kabila or any other leaders.
tibifuzaga kuba ngo aribo baje mu kibanza cy'abategetsi.
It's not in their wish to be the leaders. Of
ibyo
the
bakora
country.
ni ukwirwara no kugira ngo babeho.
All they do is to fight so they can survive.
hari ingorane nyinshi muri Kongo cyangwa muri Afurika.
There's so many issues in Africa.
ariko turi ubwoko bumwe bwihariye kuba ngo reka turwande kubaho.
But we're a particular people. It's very difficult to even say we're fighting so that we can survive. We don't seek any other interests. Banyamulenge only fights so they can survive. They just want to live, to be able to breathe. Those who have cows may be able to take care of them. Those who farm, those who go to school, those who get married may do that in peace. That's what Banyamulenge are fighting for. But the world has been labeling us as powerful people. And some of the images that we've seen, you may think that we're an armed group. The pictures might be showing it very well, but that's not what they look like. And the world today is considering Banyamulenge as very powerful. And the world is labeling Banyamulenge as killers who are killing other tribes. Let me give you an example of a man who shared some word. Munyamulenge was arrested in America, about to be deported. And they approached the lawyer. This happened in Texas. And other Banyamulenge told the lawyer, hey, if this person is taken back to Congo, he'll be killed. And the lawyer was asking, if this Munyamulenge goes back, how would he be killed? So what are you saying? Because I know a lot of people who fled Congo. This was said to me just a few weeks ago. Things have been put in inverse or reverse. Us who are being killed have been turned into the killers. That is how the world considers it. Even the researchers at universities in America, they've converted us into evil people. And they know that Banyamulenge are the ones being the problem and killing other people in Congo. So let me say that this is completely false. We are the victim. But we're being labeled or we're being labeled as killers. So I want to say this is false. I'm telling this to the world. So I'm asking, who the person who called us Banyamulenge, did he do a bad thing? Did the person who started the group Bijombo, did he do bad? The person who named us Banyamulenge did a wonderful thing. Because it gave us an identity. Even those who are fighting against you, it's because they don't want you to have a land. They don't want you to have your own home. They want to prevent you from living. And they want you to just be a person who's who doesn't have a home. But the person who called us Banyamulenge did great. And indeed we are Banyamulenge. We accepted it when we are proud of
watwise
it.
no zina ry'abanyamurenge
The person who called us Banyamulenge,
kuko nahambere twigeze no kubavuga ngo ese ni wari banjije bamwe ngo ni bisara abandi ngo ni kabarura abandi ngo ni bande
I know some people wonder who
uwo
started
muntu
this thing.
yakije umuriro rero
The person, it's like a
umuntu
lighting,
umuntu watwisira n'umunyamurenge yakije umuriro
it's like he started a fire.
umuriro utwika
A fire that burns.
ukika ibiri mu kintu kimwe bazabatuziza abandi
Because this is one of the reasons
rero
that we're
niba
being
ukomoka
killed
mu
from.
muntu witwisa abanyamurenge
If you come from a person,
haguruka urwane intambara kuko umuriro urimo wowe muri bariya bawe
I'm asking you to stand up to fight because you're among the people who started
igituma
this fire.
batwimaga groupement mu bijombo
The reason why they were being refused to have
kugira ngo
Group Bijombo,
tureke kwerekana ko nako dufite kutume turi abanyamurenge tugira iwacu
those who were against it, they didn't want us to have a land, a place where
umuntu
we
rero
call
wazanye
home.
groupement mu bijombo ntiyagize nabi
So the person who started the Group Bijombo didn't do
ariko
that.
byaratwicishije
But that has been one of the reasons that we.
nyamara nk'uko sinzi uwabivuze ndagira ngo ni apotre Gitwaza
I don't know who said it, but I think
isi
Apostle
ntizazi
Gitwaza,
wezi ikintu cya politike ku muntu
the world will never hand you freedom freely.
tuba turwanira ngo tuje gukuraho ubutegetsi buhari yamenye
We're not going to fight against regime or
ariko rero ntibazemere
still
ko tuzagira
regimes,
n'iwacu
but they're refusing so we can have a
uretse
home.
imana yo mu ijuru yonyine ariyo izaturwanirira
But we know that only God will fight on our behalf.
nkomeze mvuga ngo
So let me continue by saying
mbere
this
yuko ndangiza
before I finish.
abantu baza bavuga ngo ni mwebwe ni mwange bene wanyu
People are being told to hate the
kugira
own
ngo
people
nerekane ko ndi umukompatriote ngomba kukwanga wewe
so that I can show that I'm a nationalist or someone who loves my country. I need to hate my own
nakuvuga
people.
nabi wewe
I need to speak evil about you.
ariko kuvuga nabi ntibihagije
But even to say bad things, it's not enough.
ngomba no kukwica
It's to also kill you.
ariko niki kimba garanti ko nimara kukwica jewe mbaho
But what guarantees me that after I've killed
That's
you,
a-
that I'm going to leave?
reka mbwire abanyamurenge turi muno n'abandi bagiye ko ngo banumva
So let me tell you, Banyamulenge, who are gathered here,
en terme ya communauté
in terms of a
tuvuze
community,
ngo amakominote cyangwa imirara
if we say
ni
communities,
twebwe twenyine nk'umurara
It is-
niba ari umurara kominote bayita ubwoko twebwe twenyine nk'ubwoko
it is only our community,
twebwe twenyine gusa
only us,
kurusha abandi banyekongo bose
more than other tribes in Congo,
bahagurutse kurwanira kongo
who have stood up to fight for Congo.
nta bundi bwoko muri kongo burahaguruka kurwanira kongo
There is no other tribe that has stood
niba buhari
up to fight for the
niba buhari
country.
muzabivuge
If there is such a tribe, maybe
ntabwo
they come and say
ntabwo
it.
bubaho
It does not exist.
twebwe nitwe bapatriyote kuruta abandi bapatriyote
Banyamulenge are the true patriots, more than any other people in Congo.
wareka umunyamurenge ko atari patriyote
So whoever says that Banyamulenge is not a
ntabazi
patriot,
amateka ya kongo
they don't know the history of Congo.
uwo ntabazi amateka ya
They
kongo
don't know the history.
rero timwiyumve mw'ubwoba
So do not fear.
muhumurike kuko igihugu cyanyu muragikunda
Know that you love your
kandi
country
mwarakirwaniye
and you will fight for it.
n'abatemera none ko mwabipfiriye ejo bazabyemera
And those who deny it will eventually accept it.
hari abantu batazi histoire ya kongo
Many people do not know the history of
umuntu
Congo.
utazi histoire ya kongo ntakuzamubwira keretse kumurihira minezari akajya ku ishuri
There's nothing we can do other than send him to school to learn.
mahoro yamutumaye akajya kwiga akagaruka
Maybe Mahoro can send him to school to learn
twebwe
history.
muri kominote zose zibaho za kongo
Among all the communities in Congo,
kuko ndongera kuzo shesher banoge yavuze
because I'm adding to what Mzee Banoge said,
twe ba mbere barwaniye kongo
we are the first to fight for the country Congo.
Imana ntiyasubira.
And God will never forget.
Imana irabikunda.
God loves it.
Murakagira Imana.
arakoze
Thank you very much.
gukoma amashyi ni icyizere
When we clap, it's a sign of hope.
ntihagire uwo biza gukomeretsa wenda kubera ko turimo
So
gusohoka
do not be offended. We know we are remembering.
ariko bisinye icyizere
It's a sign of hope.
arakoze cyane mu ijambo rigufa tugejejeho
We thank you, sir, for your kind words.
muri ubu buzima rero
In this life,
hari abandi bantu batari abanyamurenge ariko bazi ibyatubayeho
we have other people who are not Banyamulenge, but who understand the struggles of Banyamulenge,
bakomoka muri iki gihugu
who are from this country.
ndagira ngo tuze kumva Dr Bojana
I'm going to invite Dr. Bujan.
okay bambwiye kuko ijambo rye ritari ryaba hafi
Okay, John is not ready,
mu kanya ko turaza kumutegera uwo ni umunyamerika wo hano
but we're going to invite him later.
reka rero dukomeze n'amagambo.
Let's continue.
Hari umuntu hano wabanye na Fande Michel mu buryo butandukanye.
Among us here, we have a person who lived long with Michelle.
Bavugana, baganira, wabaye inshuti ye.
They lived together, they spoke a lot, and they
Akaba
were
n'umukozi
friends. And he's a servant of God.
Turagira ngo duhamagare Apotre Micho
Let's invite Apostle Mitchell
aze agica tubwira mu ijambo rigufi.
to come forward and give us his remarks.
Aragica tubwira kuri Afande Michel.
He will tell us a little about Father Michelle.
Tubanje gutanga mpore ku miryango yose yateraniye hano.
Let me first give my condolences to all the families who are here.
Z'umwihariko imiryango wabyaye bari yacu n'izindi tutavuze amazina yazo.
In particular, the family in which Michelle is from and other families.
Ndabizi ko igihe turize uyu munsi
I know that today
cyatangiye none cyari kiriho n'igihe cyatambutse
in days that have passed,
kandi kiracyafite urugendo rutari rugufi.
this has been a long journey.
Ariko ko turadutegura kuzaba agaciro bazifuzwa n'abandi. Turadutegura kuba agaciro bazifuzwa n'abandi ejo hazaza.
But I know the events happening are preparing us to be people who would be desirable by others in the future.
Twaje gufatanya n'abandi bose bari hano kugira ngo tubashe kwerekana umubabaro.
We have come here to join together to show our sorrow.
Ariko kandi no gufatanya ibyiringiro bishobora kuba byohindura ubuzima bw'umubabaro ukabifumbire y'ibyiringiro by'ejo z'ubutsinzi.
But to also come in solidarity in hope for a future.
Ni mu bantu bumvise ijwi rya nyuma rya Marehemu ije bamurashe turimo tuvugana.
I'm among those who heard General Makanika just before he was killed.
Ubwo yaravuye aho ari babanje kurindira ngo ibizuma biri mu kirere bitambuke, avuye yazamuka mpamagara kenshi bangombwa kuko nifata telefone.
He was coming from where they've been waiting for certain equipment to pass. And he called me several times and I picked up the phone.
Gerageza gusa naho tumugira inama ko abanza kubyirinda ariko avuga ko yari akeneye ko tuvugana.
And I even tried to tell him to be patient and allow some time to pass before he could do anything.
Atararangiza ijambo yari ateruye telefone irakatika ntibizakomeza.
And before he finished what he was saying, I heard the phone hung up.
Mugenzi wacu tubana muri ubuzima bwo kwirwanaho.
I have a comrade in this journey of fighting for ourselves.
Niwe wantanze kumenya kuko hari ibyabaye nubwo twahirukanye.
He was the first to know of what had just happened.
Nje nari ko telefone yaguye gusa bisanzwe.
I thought the phone had just hung up because of signal reasons.
Bivuze ko naje ndi mu bantu basigaranye inkovu iremereye cyane gikomere kiremereye.
Meaning that I'm among those who have a heavy scar after what happened.
Nubwo tutabivuga hanze ngo tubisakuze ariko kandi turi mu bantu bafite ibyiringiro yuko Makanika ari muzima, ubuzima bwe buri muri twebwe twese kandi bizadusigiye bifite ubuzima bizamera bikatugeza ku nzozi ibyo haraniye.
Even though we don't go out saying it out loud, but we are people who have hope and we know that Makanika still lives.
Ngiye kuvuga ibintu bine gusa.
I'm going to mention 4 things.
Igice cya mbere ni intwari ariko ndasema amagambo bayavuze abandi.
The first thing, we know he's a hero and I know a lot of people already said it.
Intwari nabwo nyine bivuze avuga ngo n'umuntu ukora ibyo abandi bantu bashobora gukora.
And he even gave a definition by himself. He said it's someone who does things that other can do,
ariko batakoze ku mpamvu runaka zabuje kubikora.
but who are not doing that for some reasons.
Umuntu yabiterwa no gutinya kwanga gusiga ibye.
And sometimes it is people fear to leave their loved ones or their
Abandi
property.
babiterwa n'ubushobozi bwo kubasha kumva ko aribo bireba kugira ngo babashe kwishyira mu bikorwa.
Others feel like they're not responsible.
Abandi babiguzwa n'abandi kubikora ndetse birashoboka.
Others may not do it because they think other people will take the responsibility.
Ariko intwari rero ikora birya izi ko abandi batakoze ariko bigomba gukorwa.
But a hero is someone who will do something that others are not doing, but that needs to be done.
Ijambo rya kabiri,
The second word,
intwari ntigira amaso arangiza ibiteye ubwoba.
a hero is not someone who focuses on what seems to be frightening.
Amaso y'intwari igihe cyose arangiza hejuru ibitera ubwoba ndetse harimo n'urupfu.
The eyes are able to go beyond the things that are frightening and death.
Kuko iyo baje gukora ibiteye ibisa n'ibyo ngibyo nizo bakoze ntibabikora bagiye kwiyahura ahubwo babikora bazi ko hirya yabyo hari ubundi buzima bagomba kugezaho abandi bantu.
When they do what they do, it's not because they're going out to commit suicide or anything. It's because they're doing to prepare the future.
Icya gatatu kuri iyo pointi,
And the third thing,
bakora igikorwa basangiye n'abandi inyungu ariko cyane cyane inyungu z'abandi kuruta iziwe.
they fight for a common purpose, but they fight for a purpose that way beyond themselves.
Icya kabiri, ntakorera gushimwa no mu gihe atashimwa arabikora udategereje kubishimirwa.
Number 4, they don't fight so that people can thank them or be rewarded.
Umwambaro w'ishimwe rye ni inzozi ze ziba zagezweho zuzuye umutima we.
His main purpose is to see the victory or to be closed in a hope or a victory.
Point ya kabiri ndayisimba ndavuga amagambo abiri.
I'm going to come back to 2 words.
Nuko ubutwari si ubwo nyine gusa bwa butumwa tuvuga uyu munsi ariko hari imiyoboro myinshi y'ubutwari twakagombye kuba tuvugaho.
Because heroism is not just what we're talking about. There are many things that can make up heroism.
Habe no kuvugaho nyine birashobora kuba byo igikorwa cy'ubutwari ndetse kuruta n'abafashe imiheto.
Even people who are able to speak articulate very well, that could be a symbol of heroism.
Nibutse abagabo 12 bari muri Yoshuwa na Kalebu, 10 iravuga ngo ntibishoboka ko tuzajayo muri Kanaani.
I remember 12 individuals. 10 of them say that it's nearly impossible that we may go and reach Canaan.
Bavuga n'impamvu ndetse bishobora kuba batogenda.
And they even gave many reasons why they're unable to do that.
Ariko intwari zibiri zirimo Yoshuwa na Kalebu,
But 2 among them, Joshua and Caleb,
ubutwari bwabo busohokera mu magambo bavuze,
and the heroism came from the words that others were saying.
buhindura imitekerereze n'inzozi z'abananiwe barongera kandi basubamo imbaraga bahuza imitekerereze urugamba rurakomeza kandi bararutsinda.
The heroism came from the good words that they said and changed everyone else to advance and go to
N'ubu
that
turigisha
moment.
Yoshuwa na Kalebu kubera ijambo bavuze ryo.
Even today we preach from the words that Caleb and Joshua say.
Naravuze by'abandi bakoze ibyasenyutse iwacu biradutegereje ngo bizerekane ubutwari bwinshi muri twebwe mu gihe turimo twibuka nugira ngo twibaze ngo se n'iki kindi cyakorwa. Izindi ntwari zishe muri twebwe n'izindi ziri ku misozi zibikurikirana ku cuma nazo zihaguruke zikore biriya byasenyutse birashobora kuranga intwari zikikishe muri twebwe zitarakora.
We know among us there are still many heroes because we know that so many things have been destroyed back home. So that's waiting for heroes to go and rebuild.
Natambutse ngiye ku point rero ya gatatu.
So let me go to the third point.
Ariyo intwari zadusize uyu munsi arimo uyu mugabo turimo tuvuga hano.
I'm going to talk about the heroes that we're talking about here.
Nije natekereje kumwita nashatse izina ry'ikinyamurenge ndaribura.
I try to come up with a name to name him.
Ariko shaka kwitiza izina ry'abanyamahanga rivuga ngo ni innovator. Innovator mara nakufasha. Urema ibintu bikanga ubuzima bitari biriho.
I try to think of a name to give him, but I came up with the name Innovator.
zavuye magambo natekereje yazamutse ni mu bantu bake bamenye igihe yazamutse nuko yazamutse
because I try to remember the day when he went up the mountains.
yazamutse ntacyo yitwaje usibye ubuzima bwe n'imitekerereze irangiza hejuru inyuma y'urupfu inyuma y'imibabaro ikarangiza ubundi buzima abandi batarabitekereza kubikora azamuka niyo shusho ariko nta kindi kintu yari yitwaje mu maboko yiwe.
He had nothing when he went up in the mountains. He didn't have anything with him other than just the hope and the vision.
agezeyo yihangira nta ruganda yari yikoreye yihangira ibikoresho yakagombye gukoresha kandi bibaho n'ubu nyine ko birakora abana bivuze nta ruganda yikoreye ajanye nta materiel yajanye ariko ajana uruganda mu mitekerereze ye uruganda rw'ibikoresho biraremwa n'uko birakora.
When he went, he only had his visions. He didn't have any materials or any support he was bringing to the people who were fighting for themselves already. Only his vision. And today,
yasanze n'imitekerereze ekeneye innovation yasanze imitekerereze iri mu mibande yarahunze adafite abantu badafite amazu badafite ubwugamo ariko ngo ashika afata bwa buzima bwatsinzwe bwa buzima bwavuyemo ibyiringiro aburemamwo imbaraga z'imitekerereze no kwabwira ko bishoboka uyu munsi birashoboka ko bararwana kandi ko baratsinda.
So even when he arrived, he found people were scattered in vision, in hopes. People were hopeless. But he was able to instill this hope in people, and people stood up and fought again.
yazamutse izi n'indwara dufite zarwananye n'abandi bari bari mu mazu yabo n'ibikoresho bari bafite n'ubutunzi bari bafite ku misozi ariko we yasanze imisozi yacu itakigira ikintu na kimwe twakwishimikirizaho ariko ashitse arema intabwa nziza bunyina zabaye ingako zirakamwa.
Upon his arrival, even the land was seemed to be a hopeless place, but he was able to reunite or put people together, and those are the people who are fighting today.
imisozi yacu yayiretse yayiremeye icubahiro irongera kandi iraturwa kandi n'uyu munsi irimo abantu.
He was able to bring back the honor to our mountains, and the villages are not being lived today.
ntiyari indwara gusa ahubwo ari innovator yari umuremyi w'ibitekerezo umuremyi w'ibikoresho umuremyi w'ubuzima bwongera kandi kubaho aho ni amakuru y'ukuri.
He was not just a regular hero, he was an innovator. He was a person who brought back hope into the people.
yaretse ibyo ngibyo yaremye n'imitekerereze yo kumenya imana abasore yasanze batazi imana n'ahantu yasanze harabaye imisaka yaremye imitekerereze ayishyikiriza imana irongera kandi isabana n'imana imisozi yacu irongera kandi ndetse ayiremamo ibicaniro zo guhimbaza imana yacu n'imitima ibicaniro zo kumenya imana abasore benshi bamenye imana nabyo benshi bongeye kandi kugira icyizere imana. ndatambutse iyo point ibintu bibiri bisigaye.
There's two things that I still want to mention.
niki dushobora kwigira ku buzima bw'intwari kugira ngo agaciro kacu ko kwizihiza ubuzima bwabo kabonwe n'abandi natwe katubwira akamaro.
What can we learn from this hero that we're talking about so that our life can have more values?
nasanze nta kindi twakwiga ngeretse character z'intwari.
I came to realize there's only one thing we can learn from him, it's his character.
cyangwa ubuzima bw'umwimerere bw'intwari
Or his particular character.
ndavugamo zitatu gusa.
Let me tell you three characters that he has.
intwari kubera kwigira umutwaro wo kubaka ntishigikira ibisenya bivuze ko kirwanya ibyubakwa iyo icyubatswe gitandukanye n'icyo yubatse nta kirwanya aragishyigikira kugira ngo ibyubatswe bizamure ishema ry'ibyaharanira kugeraho.
A hero's vision is to build. He will never be against those who are building. His vision is to build and to
bivuze ngo icyo wowe utakoze umutima wo kukirwanya nukuzamo uzamenye ko wakora ibinyuranye na character zabo turimo twigira.
So if you're being against those who are building, just know that you're being negative. You're not supposed to do that.
Character ya kabiri nta ndwari itagira urukundo kuko ibyo akora byose abikoreshwa n'urukundo rutamwemera kubona kaga gaterwa n'icyo agiye gukora urukundo rumwereka ibyiza bishobora kuzana abantu hamwe ndetse mugabo no kubageza ku nzu zo kuba mu buzima bwiza. Usibye Yesu wabikoze, abagabo bahisemo neza uyu muhamagaro, twabasha kubigira ndetse no kubakubitira amashyi menshi cyane.
Another character from a hero is love. A love that's able to bring people together.
Kandi bibyara umuco w'abanyamurenge bafite aho bikomora kera cyane. Bivuze ngo kubibuka kwiza nukongera kandi kuzana iyi character y'abanyamurenge yagaragaye muri Makanika n'abandi bari bari kumwe kugira ngo yongere kandi garuke hafi abanyamurenge duhuze ibitekerezo, duhuze umutwe, ariko kandi dukundane tunababarirane, dutwake ejo hazaza heza afite insho nziza.
So this is something that characterizes Banyamulenge in general, especially from old time. It's to bring love, it's to have love so that we can come together and achieve more.
Nja kurangiza,
in conclusion,
uretse abanyamurenge twebwe turi hano niki twakora rero?
Us who are here, what can we do?
Kwambara amahuzu yirabura ni byiza mwe turimo twibuka ngo byerekane ishusho y'ibyo abantu bazi ko byerekana kwibuka.
To be dressed in black, it's good to show the event that we're in.
Ariko biba bifite agaciro gake cyane mu gihe tutarimo dushaka kugira ngo twebwe dukora icyo twakagombye gukora, aricyo dutahana umunsi twaje kumva amagambo nkaya no kubona imeze nk'ibi ngibi tumaze kubona ngo twatane n'isho twifuza kuba twogeraho.
It's pointless to be dressed in black without sharing the common cause or having the same vision and to look forward into fighting for ourselves.
Aho harimo kurwanya ikitwambura agaciro kacu mu mahanga turimo.
We first have to think to fight something that's taking our values away.
Atariko dushingiye ku mubare w'ababyumva, ariko dushingiye ku mubare w'ababyumvise.
Without caring more about the number of people who understand, but just even a few number that understand.
Aho harimo ubuvugizi bwaho ukorera mu kazi ndetse naho wirirwa bakundishe kumenya yuko iwacu hari ibyarenganye bigomba kuba byorenganurwa kugira ngo tuzagere ku nzozi twifuza.
Among these is being able to speak even the places where you work of the injustices, so we can go back and rebuild home.
Ubu byaroroshe cyane.
It's easy today.
Twakoresha media.
We can use the media.
Twakoresha ndetse n'inshuti z'amatorero dufite.
We can use our friends from church.
Twakoresha n'urubyiruko dufite.
We can use the youth. Paul said to use all things that you can.
Ubushobozi bwose dufite nibwo tuzagira umunyamurenge ufite agaciro tudategereje kuba arimo batanga amaraso bari mu gihugu, ariko twe twibaza ngo se niki jewe mbaye muri uyu munsi waje kwana manumva bino bintu bivugwa, waje kwibuka ni manumva bino bintu bikora n'ababashe gutanga ibitumaze kuvuga.
So ask yourself, what's your role? What are you doing today to bring the values back?
Kutabikora twobihunga ariko tituzahunga urubanza rw'aya maraso.
We can do other things, but we'll never run away from those who have shed blood.
Tibivuza ngo ukora icyo mugenzi wawe yakora, ariko ukora icyo nawe ushoboye gukora. Ariko ushaka kugira ngo ugeze abantu kuco ushoboye kuba woshobora kubagezaho.
It does not mean for you to do what others are doing. You can even do something different, but with the same goal to achieve something great for the whole community. But let me say, we're able and we will achieve this. In conclusion, with all of these, we have God who will help us. We even have promises. We will again live in our land. Even those friends who are here will go and see home. Because what God has said about our lives is greater. May God bless you. Let's be a people of hope. Thank you very much. We're going to ask people to be very patient. We're coming close to the end. If Gaston is nearby.
watambuka iminota ibiri ukavuga umuvugo wawe.
Let's ask him to come forward and take 2 minutes.
Reka mbanze nihanganishe abantu mwese ndetse nihanganishe ubwoko bwose ku bibazo turimo, tuzaguma tubivugire mu mivugo kugira ngo bose babimenye. Iki ni igisigo nahangiye General Rukunda Makanika umunsi Umuhango yatashe uraca umurenge. Umugongo muri iki gitondo ubwoko bwose mbugita mu nda, imbaraga zikendera habe n'iz'akabando, aho duherereye hose kiziba mu nda, tuti ikitica kikagira mubi n'agahinda, tuti ninde dukoze mu nda uwa rutaritse, ninde duteye intimba haho we tutamutegamiye, akatwonera vuba intwari y'ikirenga Makanika, imfura izira imiziro yanze guhemuka, tuti nuwuhe mubisha udukinzaho aforeye, ariko ntidusobwa, akatwonera vuba intwari y'ikirenga Makanika, imfura izira imiziro yanze guhemuka, tuti nuwuhe mubisha udukinzaho aforeye, ariko ntidusobwa na nyirigico aciye. Igihe abanzi bakugoberezaga guteshuka, ukabahenda ubwira uti ndaje, ariko ukarenga mu misozi ihanitse, imyambi yaka warayisimbye, unesha amafarashi aguruka tiwiyahura. Watumaga nk'imyunda batinya, ukitwa munyuzankoni, ukitwa munyoza munyafu, muzimyafumba, ivunzi ubunzemo ryitwaga mwasankuba, rugemba mwambi w'imbinguranya, abavuza induru bakarohoka, uzahora uri urukombe murenge. Witanze guhera mu buto bwawe, ugandira umugayo wanga kurota urebera kurimbuka kwa gakondo, ngo ukunde uramira ubugingo. Witangira ubwoko bwawe kuwaburazwe ukiri urusoro. Wisize iheruheru wanga kwizigama, usiga igihugu, usiga izahabu, usiga n'ibitabashwa. Tangira kurara rwantambi, uraza imisaya haga, uti sinshobora kurara heza, ubwoko bwanje buraya habi. Abakomeye baguteguriye inzira y'imbusane, muri we ukayigorora n'ubwitonzi n'ubuhanga buhanitse. Iyo mu nsariro zawe uti nabereye kwitangira gakondo kugeza ku mutonyi wa nyuma w'amaraso. Rukunda amahoro, rukunda ubwoko, tubabajwe n'uko watabarutse bwanga. Amarira n'agahinda bitangira kuvugisha imfura z'umurenge, abasizi n'abahanzi bategwa n'imvugo z'agahinda, tuti vyenda ntitwakubarayeho bihagije, tuti wenda titwaguhishe amatoroshi y'ababisha ngo batagusheganya, usarire nta gisahuranwa uwawe vuba nk'umwanzi we. Umwenge w'umurenge ati ntakigema hababaza nk'umubisha. Dutangira kuvuga amagambo y'amaganya, tuti none se mana y'umurenge itagira amagawa, gituma waduhaye utoranyije, iyi ntwari y'umukiranutsi idasize umugayo, none ukaba ushimye kwinyakura vuba na bwangu. Tuti tuba waravuniye ya myambi y'umubisha mu kirere, tuba waratatanyije ubwumvikane bwabo ntibumvikane, tuba warasenyaguye imibare ya kiriya kigenza butindi kikahashika Makanika yinyakuye. Makanika warahanganye urahanika, useruka imuhira hacuze inkumbi n'umwotsi, ibisi by'inka bari babitemaguye baracoca umwerera, nta bana baherukaga mu matama yabo. tuzahora tukwibuka. Wagandiye itegeko ry'abasenyi kubw'indahiro, wakunze murenge urasanira kwirenganura, ntiwarekaga amaraso yawe anyanyagire ku muhanda, ahubwo anyanyagira ku misozi y'umurenge. Muvu w'amaraso waratemba, uvuga nk'ibyabere, ati sinzarota mbona guhora, kuko umuheto wacu uhora ufoye. Ugiye tugifite ikizinga, ugiye udafite ikizinga muri twe, ndetse no kubashaka kumva no kubaho. Iyi mashi mu minsi ya nyuma utangira kuja udususurutsa ukaducira imigani, kumbe ni amarenga y'uko ugiye kurenga. Twe tukagira tuti ni ubucurabwenge bw'intwari tugitindana, naho wuhiraga bwa nyuma amaboko uteye azahagarare bwuma. Gakondo urahirwa kubw'umuvu w'amaraso ya Generale Makanika ndetse n'ay'abato batwigwanewe bose yatembe mu misozi y'umurenge, akavumera amahoro ngo no mu bihe bisoze kizire gakondo tizavirira. Intwari yacu tuzahora tuyibuka.
Arakoze Gaston.
Thank you, Gaston.
Hari umuntu wakoze ikiganiro mu 2023.
There's someone who gave an interview in 2023.
Bamubazaga ibiriho bibera iwacu.
And was being asked about what's happening back home.
Agiye gusubiza kuko byari biremereye.
And when he was about to answer the question,
arababwira ngo Minembwe haranyerera.
And say that in Minembwe, it's slippery in Minembwe.
Iryo jambo muze kuryumva ku Murage buri gihe mu Minembwe haranyerera.
I continue to hear this from Umurage TV that in Minembwe, it's slippery there.
Ndagira ngo akakanya duhereze Mama Adele Kibasumba.
Let's welcome Mama Adele Kibasumba.
Tugezeho ijambo yateguye ry'uyu munsi.
She's going to give us her remarks.
Umwanya ni wawe.
Welcome.
Ndabasuhuje mwese.
Good evening all.
Ndifuza gutumira missionnaire Charles Mungura aramfasha gusobanura.
May I ask missionary Mungura to come?
My name is Adele Kibasumba.
Zina nitwa Adele Kibasumba.
I speak Kinyamulenge fluently or Kinyarwanda fluently.
Ndumva Kinyamulenge neza n'Ikinyarwanda neza ndanakivuga neza.
But I am intentionally speaking English.
Nabivuze ku bushake mu Cyongereza.
In a very big gathering of Banyamulenge community here in the Dayton, Ohio. Because many of the stories that you are hearing, many of them, 99% of them know about it. But we do have some friends. I see some faces of Americans who are new to this gathering and would like to hear straight from English to English. I know you guys took a great time of your life just like to sit here morning until evening to hear our stories, so it's only fair that we at least do this in English once. Also, there are many Banyamulenge Congolese youth here who are not as fluent in Kinyamulenge as many of people who are sitting here, who are here. Am I lying? We have so many of them.
dufite urubyiruko rwacu ruto rutabasha kumva neza iyo tuvuze ikinyamurenge kugira ngo nabo babashe kumva ayo makuru.
And the death of our hero, Makanika, has mobilized millennium, but mostly Gen Z, even Gen Alpha. Am I lying?
urupfu rwa Makanika rwahagurukije benshi cyane cyane abo bita Gen Z muri iki gihe.
Na Gen Alpha,
na Gen Alpha abari munsi y'iyo myaka.
Abana bafite nk'imyaka 8, 9, 10 no kugeza no ku 13 gutyo.
Abana imyaka 13 guhera ku myaka 8 kugeza ku 13 abona aba Gen Alpha n'aba Gen Z kuva kuri myaka uza gusubira hejuru.
Abo rero nibo ba Makanika bazaza.
Abo nibo ba Makanika dutegereje. Those are Makanika that are waiting.
So yagiye, so tugomba gutangira gukomeza kubaka legacy yiwe.
He's no longer with us, but we are building his legacy.
And so mbere ntaratangira kuvuga,
before I begin to speak,
mu kinyamurenge reka nsabe famille ya General Rukunda Makanika.
I would like to ask the family of Makanika,
muzubahiro byanyu tubahaye pole.
Your honor, we just give condolences.
Abari hano n'abari ahandi hose.
Those who are here and those who are far from here.
Hari abarimo kudukurikira online already, babizi tubahaye pole. Hari abarimo batwandikira tubahaye pole kandi turi kumwe namwe.
Those who are following online and those who are texting, we just extend our condolences to you.
Hari yindi famille ya General.
There is another family of General Makanika.
Itari hano.
Is not with us here.
Iri ruguru.
They are on the field in Minembwe.
Iyo ni Twigwaneho.
Those are Twigwaneho.
Abo nibo bana biwe nyuma ya famille yanyu.
They are the children of General Makanika as well.
Abo nabo ntabwo turi kumwe nabo hano.
They are not with us now.
Aho muri.
Wherever they are.
Mu kazi murimwo.
The work that you are doing.
Turabakunda.
We love you.
Turabubaha.
We honor you.
Turi kumwe namwe.
We are with you.
Kugeza ku mutonyi wanyu.
To the end of the last drop of our blood. Let me switch again.
I'd like to thank Pastor Papa Banoge David and Honorable Miller. They talked about the genesis of Banyamulenge struggle. I believe they are the second generation of the struggle. And I think I am the third or the fourth generation of the struggle. And when I speak, I'm not only speaking for me, I'm speaking for many people in my generation. Many of the Banyamulenge who are in this room came here as refugees. They fled the same plot. Different time, different places, but same plot. For my generation, we survived the Gatumba massacre in 2004. This is after we had been forced to flee our homes in Uvira. We crossed the border to the nearest town of Gatumba in Burundi. We were housed in a UN peacekeeping camp that was tasked to protect us and our families. But after 3 months, the camp was attacked. And many people lost their lives. And from there, the US decided that they needed to resettle many of the survivors to the US. For my family, we were resettled in New York, in Rochester, New York. And Dayton has a big majority of them here, but also in all the 50 states.
abandi bari mu ma states kwa 50
and many other Banyamulenge who survived other massacres in different time
abandi bagiye bacika icumu ry'ibihe bitandukanye
before Gatumba and after.
mu Gatumba ndetse na nyuma y'u Gatumba.
The US really increased the numbers of the Banyamulenge to resettle in the US.
Ko Amerika yagize na benshi baba muri ibyo bice bitandukanye.
Because it is a community that is targeted in the DRC.
Nimwe muri community nimwe mu bwoko buhagurukiwe muri Congo.
And so we are here.
Turi hano rero kubwiyo mpamvu.
Fast forward in 2019.
Mu bihumbi bibiri na 19.
Most people here were just minding their business, building their families.
Abantu benshi bari bitaye mu kubaka ubuzima bwabo no gukora ibindi bitandukanye.
When again the targeting of Banyamulenge who were remaining in the whole plateau, this is in the outskirts of Uvira mountains.
Abanyamulenge bari ku misozi rero y'umurenge y'Uvira.
This is originally where the Banyamulenge come from.
Niho benshi abanyamulenge dukomoka kuri misozi.
We're being targeted again.
Twasuye guhagurukirwa kandi.
And so this is where my life begins with the Lieutenant General Rukunda Makanika.
Niho amateka yanje yo kumenyana cyangwa yo kugendana n'uyu general.
We are different in age.
Turatandukanye mu myaka.
But same struggle.
Ariko twahuye n'intambara isi.
He was a colonel in the government forces.
Yari colonel akora mu gisirikare cya leta.
I was here as a mother.
Nari hano nk'umubyeyi gusa w'abana.
With my second born child.
Mfite umwana wanje wa kabiri.
I was a nurse.
Ndi n'umunasi.
Like many of people here were also doing the same thing.
Abandi benshi hano gukora ko tumeze.
Like how Michelle was in a different province.
Nawe yari muri province itandukanye.
Serving the country.
Akorera igihugu.
And so when the targeting happened in the whole plateau, there was no gathering like this. There was no meeting, there's no strategic meeting that happened. Everyone felt that they needed to do something. For him, he left the military and went to defend the people. That's what he knows. And for us, what did we have? Some income. So we need to organize to be with people who are being targeted in the DRC. At that time, I was leading the community organization. And so we needed to organize and help people in a humanitarian way. And when he arrived there, it was not a direct, I guess, link. We didn't. No. Ntabwo twakoranye ngo tuhuze umugambi.
Siwe twakoranaga mu migambi.
Yagiye yitumye.
He went by himself because of his passion in his heart. Even the community in diaspora, they just find their way what they can do. That's how we start defending ourselves, as our parents taught us.
So this is the third generation yo kwigwanaho. And so niyo mpamvu navuze ngo reka tubwire fourth and the fifth generation yo kwigwanaho. Mu Cyongereza.
In English.
Abantu bazaba bafite uburyo bwabo bwo kwigana icyo gihe.
Everyone will be defending himself
in other ways.
But let us tell you history.
And so nagiriwe umugisha mwinshi.
I had a benefit being in a generation of defending ourselves. In the same time where our hero was defending our community. The way he went to the way he organized young people to defend themselves. The same spirit ya Makanika, the spirit of Makanika,
his name is not Makanika. His name is Michelle Rukunda Makanika. Sorry, Michelle Rukunda. And Elias is Makanika.
No, Elias Makanika.
It really means he's a mechanic. It means mechanic, and then in Kinyamurenge we Kana twisetse Makanika.
ni umuntu ushobora guhanga ibintu akabikora.
As you said, he went empty-handed. He did not take anything from the armed forces.
yagiye ntacyo afite.
He just said, I could not stand this. I could not sit here, get paid,
yaravuze sinokwicara mpembwe,
having a colonel in the armed forces,
ipeta ryanje rya koloneli,
while my parents,
ababyeyi ba
my aunts, my nephews being killed.
abishwa banje n'abana.
And so when he got there,
arageze hariya,
he became a mechanic
arakanika,
to engineer the youth,
arema urubyiruko,
to organize them,
abashira hamwe,
to say before they could kill your wife, you have to defend them first.
tugomba kwirwana.
And so, like the previous speakers had said in the previous sessions,
uko abatubajije babivuze mu masession atambutse,
all the armed groups in the region
abantu bose baradokeza
formed an alliance
bishize hamwe
against us,
abanzi bacu
against Banyamulenge,
kugira ngo barwanye Abanyamulenge,
and they were all supported by the government.
kandi bose barashikiwe na leta,
And we are the minority, mind you.
kandi mubizi ko turi bake,
And you have all the other tribes
andi moko yose
mounting an alliance
bose bishize hamwe
based on identity
kubera ko abo
to exterminate one minority
kugira
group.
ngo bakure ubwoko buke muri ico gihugu.
In this situation,
muri ibi bihe
here in the diaspora, it was a moral compass for us to organize ourselves,
indangagaciro yacu isunikira kuba ngo niki twakora
to help our loved ones because their houses were being burned,
dufasha abavandimwe bacu,
health centers were being destroyed,
ibintu byose byangirije,
they were being internally displaced,
hanze bari babahinze
they
ubwubatsi
needed
cyabo,
a humanitarian assistance.
bari bakeneye ubufasha bw'uburyo bwose.
Our government was siding with those who were killing us.
imirimo yacu,
Our government.
donc leta yarishikiye abarya batwica,
And so we had to be our own UN.
ni twebwe twenyine twabaye UN,
We had to be our own humanitarian service.
twahindutse za organization
And so
zifasha,
he had to also defend the community.
nawe yarimo akora akazi ko kuturwanirira.
And so his spirit really inspired me.
Mukuru umwuka we waranyigishije,
Even though we didn't work with him hand in hand,
nubwo tutakoranye nawe umunsi ku
but we worked with those people that he was supporting, he was protecting.
dufasha abo yafasha, abo yarwaniraga.
And that is still the situation today.
N'ubu niko bikimeze.
He really organized and made sure people were protected.
yagerageje ibishoboka byose kugira ngo abantu barindwe be gupfa.
Even in that situation,
no muri ibyo bihe
he never fought against the government.
yigeze arwanya leta.
He only wanted to protect his loved ones.
yarimo arinda gusa abantu ubwoko bwe.
The armed forces were in Minembwe.
abasirikare bari mu Minembwe.
He was in the outskirts fending off the militias.
yari hanze Minembwe arwanya ababanzi bari gushaka kwica Abanyamulenge.
But many times, like we said, the armed forces supported the militias by giving them tactical gears, training, ammunition to attack us.
murabizi ko bagaragaza gutegura abanzi ariya moko yose turwanya bakayategura ngo baze kubatera nibo yarwanya.
But he still maintained that this is solely a self-defense.
ariko yagaragaje gusa umwuka wo kwirwana.
If the government were to protect Banyamulenge, we would never ever attack the government.
yirinda kurwanya leta muri ibyo bihe byose, akomeza kurinda ubwoko.
Until the day he died.
kugeza umunsi yapfuye.
They struck and they killed him by drone.
umunsi bamaze kumwica bamwicishije drone.
And that's when the Twigwaneho self-defense said, enough is enough.
nibwo abana be bavuze ngo birahagije.
You had killed our leader.
ubwo mwishe umuyobozi wacu.
That mean, and this is after 5 years of self-defense.
yari imyaka 5 bagize imisi
vowing not to touch the government.
badakora kuri leta.
Still waiting for the government to change its mind and protect everyone.
bategereje ko leta yahindura ibitekerezo igatabara ubwo.
And that's when they allied themselves with the M23.
nibwo bahagurutse bihuza na M23.
Because they were abandoned.
kubera ko twatanga.
And M23 is a Tutsi group.
M23 nayo ari abatutsi.
Like Banyamulenge from North Kivu.
Abanyamulenge bo muri North Kivu.
They are also trying to protect their families that were chased out of the country.
barwana ku bwoko bwabo.
And so, I want to say in a humanitarian way, we've tried to mobilize even doctors to go to Minembwe.
baje mu Minembwe
they were targeted and killed on their way.
babaganga nabo twashatse twohereje kuvura abantu nabo barabica.
Humanitarian aid, trunks, anything that could get to Minembwe was destroyed on its way to Minembwe.
Fasha gutabara imbabare twoherezaga nabo buratwikwa burangirizwa.
This means that they were trying to kill and uproot Banyamulenge out of their land by fire or by hunger. Up until now, Minembwe is under a blockade. It means Banyamulenge cannot trade with other local tribes, while other tribes are able to travel from one area to another. And if you're trying to get there, you will be killed, lynched. Not only as a civilian, by the way, not only as a civilian, even if you are an armed serviceman, the fact that you're Munyamulenge, you will be taken out of the car, lynched. These things have happened over the course of the 8 years of this struggle. And so, what I'm saying is that Banyamulenge have been abandoned for many, many years. This is the third generation, like I said. But we have refused to surrender. And that's what he said. That we will defend ourselves until the very last drop of blood. And we are so grateful for everyone who has stood with Banyamulenge and the whole plateau, so that they do not surrender. Let
me just express my gratitude to Banyamulenge.
They have been
defending and also supporting themselves in different ways. When all people just left them, you stood up and they support your family for all those years up to now. Don't quit. Even though Makanika died, and the other people who died with him, and others are still dying. But this is a legacy that we have. We didn't choose to be who we are. God chose us and made us. The God who created us will defend us if we don't quit. What I can ask you, it's unity. We have people who left us, who are now working with our enemy. We know them, but for us, who are still defending ourselves, I would like to ask you to be united. Now, small things that can divide us, make it easy, put it aside, and fight together. You know, our defeat is just unity. In different ways, supporting the way you supported you, in any way you supported, advocacy. That shows that we are one. I can't imagine other tribes in the community that can sustain themselves by supporting themselves. That shows that we are one. But it's not enough. We still have people who are not supporting. It's for all of us.
Ndashaka gushimira abamama ku mwihariko.
I want to thank women.
Mwarakoze.
Thank you so much.
Bayobowe na Mama Anastasie.
By our leader, Mama Anastasie.
Uriya ni mudacogora niko namwita.
She never gave up.
Mukoorganizing abadamu.
She always organized.
No kubaganiriza no kubashira hamwe.
Talk to them, put them together.
Turabasaba kugira ngo mukomeze noneho mube hafi y'abasigaye.
Continue supporting those who are
abasigaye ruguru ni imfubyi.
Those who are in Minembwe, they're orphans.
Imfubyi batakaje umubyeyi.
They no longer have.
Ababyeyi murabizi kurera imfubyi uko bimeze.
Women, you know how to raise.
Mugomba noneho kurushaho kurushaho.
Do more.
Ndabibwira abamama ariko ndabibwira mwese n'ababyeyi n'abana.
I'm telling men and the young men.
Mureke tukomeze twegerane.
Let us be united.
Tubumwe.
Let's be one.
Ariko ubu nyine kandi ndi turi twenyine.
And let me tell you.
Twagize n'abandi tukirinke.
Now we have other people.
Dufite abandi dufatikanyije
urugamba. Other people that we want.
Kandi nabo turabashimira.
We thank them as well.
Sinzi muri Bible ukuntu babyita.
I don't know in the Bible how they call it.
Urugamba rwakomeraga.
When the war is very hard.
Abantu barahagurukaga kuri Joshua.
In the book of Joshua.
Bakazamura amaboko.
People rose and raised their hands.
Bakomeze abari ku rugamba.
So they can help those who are those who are fighting.
Mu Minembwe.
In Minembwe.
Tekereza yuko bari bashakaga kuburizamo kino kintu cha Gideon.
They wanted to stop.
Bari bashaka gufata Minembwe turimo hano.
They want to took over.
Ariko barananiwe.
By up to now.
Ntibazanabishobora.
They will never.
Rero reka mbasabe mwese muhaguruke.
Let me ask you to stand.
Zamura amaboko.
All of us raise our hands.
Tuyatunge mu Minembwe.
And raise our hands.
Bakomeze urugamba.
Tell them that
kugeza tutaje.
We are together.
Muzamuhaguruke mwese.
Amen.
Mu Minembwe ni
When is in Minembwe? It's in East.
It's
okay.
So tuyatunge amaboko.
We are going to raise our hands and support those people in Minembwe.
Turavuga twese ngo kwigwanaho.
We're going to say defend ourselves.
N'ubuzima.
It's a life.
Kuko ini generation turimo yacu ya gatatu.
In a third generation.
Abagenzi.
The Gen Z.
N'abagen Alpha.
And Gen Alpha.
Muzaba muri generation ya gatanu.
You are going to be generation 5 generation.
Tubizaba bimeze gutya.
It will be the same.
Ariko kwigwanaho kuzakomeza.
But defend ourselves.
Reka twese rero dutunga amaboko.
Let's just show our hands over there.
Dutekereza bari mu Minembwe ubu nyine kuri no mu Gwitsankuku.
Remembering those people in Gwitsankuku.
Ni Masisi.
In Masisi.
Walikale. Hose.
In the other places in those areas.
Tuvuge ngo kwigwanaho.
Defending ourselves.
N'ubuzima.
It's a life.
Twese tubisubiremo rimwe.
1, 2, 3.
Kwigwanaho n'ubuzima. Murakoze cyane.
Thank you so much.